Southern parts of Australia, just squeezing that moisture out of the tropics, and it's sinking its way further south. Some parts here could see around 150 millimetres of rainfall over the next 24 to 48 hours. So that will bring with it the risk of flooding, and that flooding rain could well also ease its way into that western side of Victoria. There we go with the heavy rain through central parts. To the east of that, it's fine and dry, 27 Celsius for Sydney and for Brisbane, 32 degrees there for Perth. Again, it stays fine and dry. Now we move on into the middle part of the week, and that wet weather, as you can see, diving its way down into Victoria by this stage. The high pressure, which has been keeping it dry here, is easing a little further eastwards across New Zealand. So the weather for New Zealand, at least, should start to cheer up. It's still quite breezy as we go on through much of Tuesday. A keen southwesterly wind coming in. So temperatures at around 16 Celsius, pushing up towards 19 degrees. But there you go. Winds falling lighter. A lovely day to come as we go on through Wednesday. Further north, there's quite a rash of showers through Vanuatu, through Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, seeing the heaviest of the showers through Southeast Asia. Crop of showers there a little further northwards into Malaysia, but for many it will be fine and dry, but turning wetter for Thailand.
To invest in a country with nearly 450,000 university graduates per year, please push the button. For more power to your global business, invest in Turkey.
From local traders to international finance, it's commerce that makes the world go round. For global companies and developing markets, communication is the currency, and information is the most valuable commodity. Counting the cost at this time on AlJazeera.
Libya's shifting front lines. It appears opposition fighters are losing ground to Gaddafi forces. Hello, I'm Imran Garda in Doha. In other developments in Libya, is reality setting in for Libya's rebels? Leaders are now asking for help to overthrow Gaddafi. President Obama says a military response is being considered. Also on the program, Egypt's new era. The Prime Minister appoints a new caretaker cabinet in Cairo. And trying to keep the peace in Côte d'Ivoire, we report on the clashes threatening to tear the African country apart once again. Muammar Gaddafi's forces have struck back hard against rebel positions in Libya. Rebel forces are under fire in Ras Al Hanouf in the east and have lost control of Az-Zawiya near Tripoli. They still hold Misrata, their only foothold in western Libya. A new front line is drawn near Bin Jawad. Tony Bertley reports from there.
In the shifting sands of north-central Libya, the confusion of conflict is sweeping through the rebellion, where it has reached and where it is going. The mass build-up of men and heavy weapons continues from the rebel side, and men of all ages and from all backgrounds have answered the call to arms. The new front line is near here in the small town of Bin Jawad, where the momentum of the rebel advance has been halted by Gaddafi's forces.
They stay in the house and take all the families in front of them and start to shoot us. So that make us get behind a little. But we can't shoot, because if we shoot, it's a random. If we shoot, we may kill some of the families.
But it's an unpredictable area where accurate information is scarce. Territory is changing hands frequently, and the threat of infiltration and counterattack is high. The speed and relative ease it took the rebels to reach her has taken everyone by surprise. Gaddafi's hardcore well-trained units are about 180 kilometres down this road. They are said to be equipped with a vast array of high-tech weaponry, and those with military knowledge are wondering when and not if they're going to use it. Gaddafi forces have been spotted in the area, and although opposition fighters seem unfazed, locals are aware of what lies ahead.
What about if they go to Sirte? And Sirte people, 100% they are waiting for these people. Really, I didn't know, maybe people without, they cut the half of them.
The nearby town of Ras Lanuf has changed hands several times. It's now held by the rebels. According to locals, Gaddafi's men simply withdrew. Now most here are leaving, fearful of what is going to happen.
We are stuck in the middle between both sides and don't know where the bombs are coming from.
What started as a civil uprising is developing into an armed struggle, but not yet a civil war that many fear. The sound of jets above sends the rebels into defense mode, firing wildly into the air at a target they cannot see.
There's a military plan. We're afraid of him. Let him, we come here to die.
But only 2 bombs that we know of were dropped, and both missed the large concentrations of fighters and hit the desert, and no one was hurt. Some are wondering whether the pilots are deliberately missing in sympathy with the rebellion. It's one of the many puzzling aspects to this conflict. Fighters, though, say Bin Jawad is only a temporary hold-up. They are preparing to take the fight onwards through Sirte, then Misrata, and then finally Tripoli. No one here, however, predicts what tomorrow may bring. Tony Bertley, AlJazeera, near Bin Jawad, north-central Libya.
Now, when the uprising in Libya began, the message from opposition forces was clear. They would overthrow Muammar Gaddafi on their own. That tune has changed somewhat. In the last 24 hours, they've begun to call for outside help against Gaddafi's air power. Gulf Arab leaders are also throwing their weight behind the idea, asking for a UN-enforced no-fly zone. And now the United States president is saying all options are on the table and issued this warning.
I want to send a very clear message to those who are around Colonel Gaddafi. It is their choice to make how they operate moving forward, and they will be held accountable for whatever violence continues to take place there. In the meantime, we've got NATO, as we speak, consulting in Brussels around a wide range of potential options, including potential military options, in response to the violence that continues to take place inside of Libya.
AlJazeera has received pictures that purportedly show Libyan army officers killed for refusing to fire on the rebels. These pictures are from Zintan in western Libya and were sent to us by the opposition. They say the colonel seen here was killed by Gaddafi's forces after refusing to shoot. At least 3 other officers were also said to be killed. AlJazeera has learned that a firefight between British special forces and rebel fighters broke out on Libyan soil. It happened when a diplomat and members of the elite SAS military force were captured as they landed in eastern Libya, a failed mission that was personally authorized by the UK Foreign Minister William Hague. AlJazeera's Huda Abdelhamid has more.
Well, yes, we do. According to our sources,